So in our last session, we already discussed about the component of the WebGIS. What are the different type of services we have in the WebGIS? I believe everyone understood about what is the WMS, what is the WFS, WCS, because whenever we are trying to develop any WebGIS application, so especially this WMS and WFS, these are the two services are playing very important role because one service especially we are using for the viewing purpose and another service we are using if we want to do some modification in our data. Both the services are hosting on the same server. So basically the only difference is the viewing and editing. Now in today's session we are going to discuss about the web component or especially some terminology we are going to use very frequently, like request, response, and website, URL, and all these things. So we need to understand how things are working and what are the component we have in the web. Because as I already explained you previously, whenever we are talking about the web GIS or any web development, so moreover to the code, the most important thing is we need to understand how the entire circle is working, how the entire flow is working. Because once you will understand the entire flow, then you can quickly understand ki, okay, for what problem maybe where we will have the issue. Otherwise, if you will not understand the complete flow, then every time you will be stuck. So whenever we are talking about the website or web development, then there are two term is very basically common. One is the request, other one is what? Response. Because in future when we are going to develop the application, so in application also frequently I will talk about we are sending request, we are getting the response. So request is basically what? Whenever you are hitting any website, okay, whenever we are hitting any website, then as you know, each and every website what we are able to access, these websites are hosted, these websites are published on some server, correct? Means whenever if you are going to access any website, for example, if you are accessing yo4gis.com, or if you are going to access fleeteye.co.in, this is our latest product. So whenever you are going to access any website, then first of all, we are able to access that website because this website is hosted somewhere. Hosted somewhere means कि whatever the files we are using to develop the website, all these files we need to copy on some server. Based on that only we can access the website. So whenever we are writing www.yo4js.com, and once you will press enter, then whatever the things your browser is sending to the server, these all things is called what? These all things is called the request. Because as soon as you will write yo4js.com and press enter, then immediately your browser is asking to the server ki I need files, I need images, I need this color, that color, everything. So when your browser want to get something from the server, when your browser want to get something from the server, then it will sending the request. Once your browser will send the request to the server, then based on the request, server will send the files. Server will send the images. When we will send request, and when server will send the response, based on response only, we are able to see any website. Based on that only, we are able to see any website when web application. So the request, if maybe if someone will ask you what is the request and what is the response, then I think you understood. Request means it is sending from browser to server. And what is the meaning of the response? Response means what we are getting from the server. So this is the request and response. Now, when we are talking about the request, so we are sending request either using the browser or using some client. Maybe you are using any web application on tab. Maybe you are using any web application from mobile. So ultimately, you are accessing or you are sending request through your web browser. When we are sending request to the server through the web browser, so that web browser is called what? This web browser is called the client. And the machine where we are sending the request, that machine is called what? That machine is called the server. And because of that reason, this communication is between client and server. And how this communication is possible? Because of what? Because of the internet. If internet is not there, if internet is not there, so we are not able to send request, as well as we will not able to get the response. Now coming to the development side, so the browser what we are using, the browser what we are using to send request to the server, whatever the things you are able to see, whatever the page you are able to see, whatever the text box, button, images, whatever the things we are able to see, these all things comes under the front end development. These all things comes under the front end development. And when you will click on the button, means the text box of the ID, text box of the password, button for the login, this is basically, these all things belong to the front end development. But when we will click, but when we will click on the button and we are sending request to the server कि भाई please check करो कि this ID and password is correct or not. So server will check this ID and password is correct or not, and then server will send response कि yes, this ID and password is correct. When we will get the response positive, then we are able to access other pages of the website. So front end is front end is basically what? Whatever the things we are able to see in the browser, that will come under the front end. And what are the logic, what are the business related thing, whatever the function is going to execute is on the server, these all development comes under the backend development. So there are majorly two type of development as we can see here. One is the front end development, other one is the backend development. So when we are talking about the front end development and back end development, so what are the things if we will learn, then we will become a front end developer. If you know the HTML, if you know the JavaScript, CSS, jQuery, Angular, React, these all things comes under what? These all things comes under the front end development. And when we will talk about the back end development means all the core features, all the core functionality. Like if you want to show all the employees on your web page, so definitely you will send request to the server, get all users from the database. So the core logic or the core code, what we can write to get all these information to business layer. So these all codes we are writing where? We are writing in the backend. That is called the backend development. And the people who are who involved in this kind of development, these people are called the backend developer. And what are the languages are available to do the backend development? We can do the backend development using the C Sharp, Visual Basic, PHP, Java, Python, Node.js. And actually, in this world, there are n number of languages are available. Some of the languages are very popular. Some of the languages are less popular. Some of the languages are very few companies are using. Like maybe you guys didn't heard about the Go language. There is a language, that language name is what? Go. This Go language is basically invented by Google. So some of the companies who are basically working with the Google product, they are using the Go language. So there are n number of languages are there, but the languages what I am trying to show here, these all are the most popular languages which we can learn for the backend development. And after that, coming to the database. So in the when we are talking about the database, so in market there are many RDBMS database are available. So we have Postgres, we have SQL Server, we have Oracle, we have DB2, we have MongoDB. There are many type of databases are available in market. So in all these databases like MongoDB and Postgres is open source database. So for that, if you want to use, so you no need to pay a single rupee. In our course, as I already told you previously, in our course, we have end-to-end session for the Postgres and PostGIS. So you no need to worry about database also because as you know, without database, it is not possible. We cannot think about any project, correct? So we have to learn, we have to know about the database. At least, uh, at least you should have some basic knowledge of the database so that you can easily understand the query. You can easily understand for the particular requirement what kind of query we need to write. Rest of the things we will tell you how we can get from the using the AI as well. So, but this in this course, as I already mentioned previously, Postgres and PostGIS end to end, we are going to explain. So around 15 to 18 sessions we have for the database as well. So these are the things involved in the front end development and back end development and database. Now after that, what are the core component we have in the front end development? So in the core component, what we have in the front end development, that is the HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. We need to understand what are the role we have for all these component, because when we are going to write something, when we are going to use any code, so we have to understand what is the usability of this thing. So like when we are talking about the HTML, so HTML is basically, it will tell you how your web page, what is the structure of your web page. Like the best example of this is whenever you will see any building construction. So in building construction, first we are able to see some concrete structure, correct? That concrete structure is basically just using the just when you will see the concrete structure, you can understand ki, okay, maybe some room is there, one room is there, one room is there, but actual room, actual look and feel you cannot get. But one thing is good ki you can get the structure of the building. So HTML is basically what? HTML is the component which will tell you what will be the structure of HTML, where we will have the button, where we will have text box, where we will have radio button, where we will have a checklist box. So these component, these component, where this component will be there in your page, this structure you can get with the help of what? With the help of the HTML. Now, how this component looks, how your button, what you have created on your web page, how this button looks. We need a 3D animated button, we need a 2D button, we need a green color button, red color button, blue color button. So, how component looks, how the text box looks. Sometime you have seen in some website there is very elegant design of the text boxes we can see. So how this text box, how any component looks, the beautification of the website, it depends upon what? CSS. CSS is basically provide the styling to your web page. Now after that, coming to the JavaScript. What is the role of the JavaScript? When you click on the button, what action you want to perform? When you click on the text box, what action you want to perform? The action what we want to perform on click event, or on mouse hover event, or on check box click event. So these action related code we are writing where? We are writing in the JavaScript. So in when we are talking about the front end development, when we are talking about the front end development, so in front end development, all these three things is involved. If you want to become a only front end developer, then you should know about HTML, you should know about the CSS, and you should know about the JavaScript. Now here, because we are from the GIS background, and in our application, map is going to play a very important role. So because of map, we need another GIS JavaScript library. We need additional GIS JavaScript library to show the map on your web page. So When we are talking about the GIS JavaScript library, we can use Leaflet, we can use OpenLayer, we can use Mapbox, we can use Google Map, we can use ArcGIS JavaScript API. There are n number of libraries, there are n number of GIS libraries, or you can say there are n number of GIS JavaScript libraries are there. Any library we can use and create the application. Some of the libraries are free and some of the libraries are paid. So that is our choice, or that is basically client requirement. If client want to develop the application using open source, then we can develop the application using the open source GIS JavaScript library. Now after that, coming to the this connectivity between all these components. So like here, as I told you, HTML is stand for the hypertext markup language, and HTML is basically, it will tell you what does it means here what will be the structure of the page. This will be the blueprint of your website, or this is the blueprint of your web page. When we are talking about the CSS is basically what does it looks, how your web page looks, how you can create a beautiful page, how you can give a style to any component. So all the styling, colors, transition, everything is basically we can create with the help of what? With the help of the CSS. So it is called the cascading style sheet. It is useful for the presenting and styling. After that, JavaScript, as I already explained you, how the things will work means when I click on the button, what action I want to perform. This is basically which will control JavaScript will control all these things. So before, like very initial days, when web development started, that time this JavaScript part was not there. Because of JavaScript part was not there, people had developed many website where you can create a good website, you can create a beautiful website, but that website there will be no action. And because of that reason, this kind of website was called a static website. After coming JavaScript in the market, now website will become dynamic website. So if I want to do some action, I can easily do with the help of what? With the help of the JavaScript. I believe everyone understood about the relationship and the importance of the HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. Now after that,
Yes,
coming to the web development terminology. So if whenever you are seeing any website, so you will get what? www.yo4gis.com, www.irctc.com. So this www is basically for the World Wide Web is commonly known as the web. So whenever we are talking about any website, so each and every website is basically start with what? Start with the www. So the web is the collection of the computer connected through a network to provide publicly accessible information. So it means, as I already explained you, कि let's suppose in your website there are 5 pages are there. Index page is there, contact us is there, product page is there, and about us page is there. So when we are developing these pages, so all these pages we are uploading where? We are uploading on the server. And with the help of the this website www, we are able to access our web pages. What is the meaning of the web page? The web page is a document commonly known written in the HTML that is accessible through the internet. So as I told you ki when we are developing the web pages, so that web pages structure of the web page will we are developing with the help of what? With the help of the HTML. And for the color, for the style, we will use CSS with what? With the HTML. So actually, when we will start writing the code, then automatically you can understand how things are interconnected or how things are working. It's easy, okay? It's not tough thing. After that, we will have the what? Website. What is the meaning of the website? The website is the collection of web pages. In a website, there will be multiple web pages are there. Like if you will see any website like our website yo4gis.com, so there basically there are many pages are there. What training we are providing, that we are giving in different page, what are the product we have, what are the services we have. So all these, for all these things, we will have the different web pages, but collectively, all these web pages is basically part of one website. Now after that, we will have the web browser. So web browser is what? Web browser is a software. Web browser is a software what we are installing in our machine. With the help of the web browser only, we are able to access any website. That is up to you. You can install any web browser. So normally we are using Google Chrome or Internet Explorer or Mozilla Firefox, any website, because now these days there are many web browsers are available in market. Any web browser you can install. So the best and good part is good part with the web application development is whenever you are developing a website or whenever we are developing any web pages, that web pages will be work on each and every browser. Okay. Now after that, we will have the URL. What is the URL? Like as everyone knows, when we are hitting the website www.yo4gis.com, and after that when you will see the URL, that URL will be something like this: HTTP or HTTPS. Normally, many means in many advertisement you will see you should not do any banking transaction without HTTPS. HTTP, it means this website is not secure. HTTPS means that website is secure. Actually, our website is secure only. That basically maybe uh, before we have put the HTTPS, someone has copied this thing. So because of that, it is showing HTTP. But if you will access our website, then you will get it is the HTTPS. Now here, what are the different part we have here? So when we are talking about the website URL component, so the first component is the protocol. What is the meaning of the protocol? This is what HTTP or HTTPS. This is the part of what? This is the part of the protocol, hypertext transfer protocol or hypertext transfer protocol secure. So there are two protocols which we are using commonly. One is the HTTP, another one is the HTTPS. And after that, we will have another part of in any web browser, that is the location of the server. Then we have the in the location of the server, we will have the domain name and file name. So like here, if I show you this complete URL, so http slash www.yo4gis.com. So here this HTTP is what? It is called a protocol. Ki what protocol we are using to access this website. So if this website have HTTP protocol, then you can access using the HTTP. If this website have HTTPS protocol, then you can access the website HTTPS. After that, this is this complete thing www.yo4js.com. This complete thing is the domain. This is called the domain or host name. And after that, here maybe you can get directly file after the yo4js.com/file name, or maybe if in your website there are many pages are there, so maybe you will get these pages inside the directories. Like here, if you are able to see this P means what? P means the directory what we have created, where we have created on this server www.yo4js.com. So this is what? This is called the file name. If you will access the website, automatically you can understand कि, okay, when I click on the training, so here you will get which page? Here you will get training.html. Once you will get contact us.html, then here you will get contact us page. So this is what? This is the structure of any website URL. First one is the protocol, then domain and host name, then after file name and directory name or folder name. After that, when we will develop any website, so normally when if you when you will start development of any website, then as you know, each and every website have the home page, or we can say this is the landing page. So as soon as you will hit yo4js.com, so automatically it will land you, or it will open either index.html or home.html. Normally when we are talking about the home page, so the name of the home page will, in most of the cases, home page name will be index.html or home.html. Then after we will have the web hosting. What is the meaning of the web hosting? As you guys already heard about some company name like GoDaddy. Have you heard about GoDaddy.com or GoDaddy?
Yes, I have heard about it.
Yeah.
GoDaddy, Hostinger, etc.
Correct, correct. So we have the GoDaddy, we have Hostinger, we have n number of service providers are available. These service provider provide us the facility of web hosting. So if you have developed one website and that website you want to host on any server, so there are many companies are there. These companies will provide you the space where you can copy your all the files. Actually, when we are talking about website hosting, just imagine you have developed 3 4 pages. Okay, just imagine you have developed 3 4 pages. Now you want to host these all pages somewhere so that anyone can access. Correct. So we need to host our pages. So whenever we are talking about the hosting, so there are two very important thing. One is what? One is we need a space. We need a space in a machine where I can copy my all the files. One thing. And second thing is I need the domain. That domain I will map with particular machine so that anyone can access my web page with the help of what? With the help of the domain. Because I cannot directly give access to my machine to everyone, correct? Because let's suppose your machine is 67.102.302 something. Definitely you don't want to share this IP or machine information to anyone. So for that, or in that case, we need a domain. So let's suppose you have taken the domain abc.com. So abc.com domain is going to map with your machine. abc.com will going to map with your machine so that If I want to access your website, I will simply hit abc.com. Internally, abc.com will get all the files from your machine and it will show. Normally, this is the procedure what we are using when we are hosting our websites. After that, we will have the web server. What is the meaning of the web server? As I told you, when you want to publish a website, so like GoDaddy.com or like Hostinger. So whenever you will talk to GoDaddy or Hostinger and means request about to publish your website, so they will provide you two things. One is what? One is the domain. That domain you can search, you can purchase based on your choice. And after that, once you will get the domain, then after you can copy your all the files on their server, and after that, that is their responsibility to map this machine with your domain. Once this is done, and after that, they will tell you कि now your website is published. Anyone can access the website using the URL through any browser. Okay, so this is basically the website means terminology and component what we are using frequently. So I believe everyone understood these things. So if anyone have any question, you can ask. You feel free to ask any question.